Welcome back to Motion RC, the last show of the 2020 year. Happy New Year, everybody. I see everybody in the comments. Got some faces in here from the past. Matt Feinstein, Vez Pizzari. Good to see you in here, man, from old Hobby King days. We used to work together with Alex and I. Good friend of ours. Glad to see him in here. And everybody else, welcome. It is the New Year show. I'm surrounded by a few of the products, just a few of the products that we released to the website this year. So we're going to have some fun today. The idea of the show, obviously, I got some thank yous. I want to thank some of the people who came on the show, that helped the show. We'll go through a little bit about everything that came out to the Motion RC website this year, and then we'll get to what really made this show this year possible was the community. You know, it was funny going through the past over the break of the past week. I was going through pretty much every episode. Alex had saved every folder of all the stuff that we ever shared. So you see the gifts awards on the side here. We got a few gift cards we're going to give out to some of what we deemed were the best things we saw all year. So when we get to that, we'll just be going basically through just some of the stuff we shared. And it was funny going back to the live show. That first episode, well, it wasn't really the first live we ever did. The first live we did was the F-18 back in the Blue Angels we did. We experimented with it. Then we actually did a whole live for the AL37 while we were at NAL. And I used to go live when we were able to go to events just on my cell phone. People really hated that. It never really
zoom in.
Yeah, it doesn't work too well when you do that. But the fact that it worked well, we had the Boozers at NAL in the fall that year. Rich Baker was there, and that's when we debuted the AL37. So that was November of 2019. And then that sort of gave us the idea to, you know, try to do it weekly. So it was January 3rd of last year was the first live show.
Just you.
Alex was off. It was just me, and we unveiled the T33, which is right here next to me. And if you remember, my audio was awful, and there was nothing I could do. I was all by myself here, so I just went with it. And it's funny to go back and watch that video because the audio's awful. The black background, it was dark. It felt like, it was just like, it's amazing what a year would come. And then going through it, it's funny, the customer community stuff, we would share bits and pieces the first maybe quarter. It wasn't really till April or May where we started to, you know, expand the show, change the background, add the graphics, and then make the community aspect of it more apart. So, you know, so it's not a full year's worth of community. So hopefully this time next year, you know, we're going to make it a point to make it bigger. So in the 2021 year of live shows, you know, make it a point to submit your stuff because there will definitely be a bigger awards. And then we're going to do some of the contests again through the year. So we're going to have some fun with it. But let's get started with, oh, and hopefully Alpha, if you're out there, call us in. We'd love to have Alpha join us. I am ready to get you on here, Alpha, if you wake up and want to get on the show. It might be New Year for him already. So it might be already. Yeah, 12. It's probably New Year's night for him.
He's partying.
He's probably partying. Probably building a plane. That's like a New Year's party for Alpha. But let's get started with some thank yous. So first things first, let's do Patrick. I want to give a shout out to Patrick Crowsdale. He probably appeared on the show more than anybody, but obviously he flies with us at our club. But I just want to thank him so much for those. A lot of those episodes are some of the most watched live shows we had were the Learning to Land series. So he came on about 4 different times, and we did this whole presentation, which, again, you guys can check out the playlist. It's a great video. He had a whole PowerPoint. Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah, the picture in
the picture in picture. Inception. But, you know, he brought in a whole PowerPoint presentation that he, as a trainer of our club, that went through to show people, you know, how to take off and land. And then we came back. He did a whole video on Warbird taking off and landing, jets, getting into high alpha, and then a trainer, a 3-point, a tricycle gear with the OV10 he did. And obviously he appeared in a lot of our videos throughout the year, and he does it out of the goodness of his heart. He's not a YouTuber. He's barely on social media. He's just out there, and he loves to fly, and he doesn't mind us sticking a camera in his face to, you know, to let us film him flying. He's an excellent pilot, and, you know, great asset to have, and a good friend. He's the best. You know, he's awesome. So, Patrick, if you're out there, thank you so much, and I hope you had an awesome Christmas and a, you know, Merry New Year, Happy New Year coming up, and we'll probably be flying. He texted me he's off for the next week, so we'll probably be out there with him next week when we get back to finally filming and flying, because we've been off since that last Friday show. We just got back in today. So, you know, we got to get used to this again. Then we're off tomorrow, and we're really back in on Monday, so it's a funny the way it goes. Then some of the thank yous. Let's go through that. So I got a video here just going through all the guests we had on the show. So if you guys remember one of the early episodes, we had George Baker and Steve Hodges. They did a live stream. They were from George's place out in Tennessee, and they were talking about Roban helicopters. If you guys have followed, we shared Steve, I think, on the last show. He's selling that big Apache he has, but you know, they unboxed. They really had gotten into the helicopters and such. So they were one of the first guests I had on the show, and you see me in the little corner in my dark black background. It's so funny how it pops up. And then I managed to get out there. It was the only event I went to. But you know, I got out to his field for one of the shows. I did a live stream from there, and that's when we debuted some of the newer kinetic stuff that came back out. So I want to thank George and Steve, wish them a Happy New Year. Then we had, if you remember, Wesley Miller. He was the first one to actually appear in studio when we had the tanks sort of just came on board. So I want to thank the Boozer crew, Lori, Papa, Wesley. I mean, they're awesome. We had, Wes was here that one time, and then we were definitely on his show at some point. If you remember, we built T-33s on his show together, but it was good to get him in here. Wesley Miller, guys, check out the Boozers channel. They're doing some good things, and you know, wanted to thank them as well and wish them a very, very Happy New Year. And he did some great, some of these tanks I haven't touched since he-painting, and he also came on the show later on in the year to, we did that whole video, a whole video on random takeoffs and landings, remember, from his videos and our videos. We were showing good ones, bad ones. Then we had John Micharchik. If you remember, we talked tanks with him. He's a big squawker for us. He really is upping the tank community, answering tons of questions. This guy has all the tanks, from Henlongs to Tamiyas, which we're getting on the website, to Toros. He posts a lot of cool stuff, so it was great to have him on. We had Brendan McCormick from Just Plain Crazy. His channel is awesome. I'd stumbled on his channel fixing, and it was an FMS Hawk. He made it look brand new, but then he did that awesome Toy Story AL37. He does a lot of stuff. Then I want to thank Andrew O'Bannon. That one week that I wasn't here, he's our customer service guy. He came on and guest hosted the show. So Andrews, you probably know him if you talk to him on CS. He's definitely on social media a lot. Good wealth of knowledge there. We had Justin Lamb. He flew out to join us when the Grippins were around, and he was the first person to fly the Grippin with the thrust vectoring unit, which is coming. But he was here in the studio, so I want to thank, big shout out to Justin. And then the RC Air Marshal. I was so excited when, you know, he's a member of our club as well, so I get to see Dave a lot when we're out there. But he did this awesome scheme on his F-18, which I don't think he's even flown still yet.
I don't think so.
To this day, but want to give him the RC Air Marshal. He goes lives on his Monday nights. Definitely check out Dave. He's an awesome dude. And then was that it? That was it. Yeah. So those were all the guests we had throughout the year. And I'm hoping in 2021 we're going to get more, because it's always fun to have people in here. But next time I bring people in, I'd rather talk to them a little bit about other stuff than RC too. You know, I feel like we see a lot of the same people on a lot of shows, and it's always fun to hear what else do people like, you know, that are in this hobby and things. But I want to thank each and every one of them. Helped, you know, keep the show going, gave us content. Hopefully it helped their channels if they have them, for you guys to find them. So big thank yous to all you guys for coming on. Love to have you on again. And then I want to give a shout out to the Flight Club. That's Dustin and Jeff's Custom RC. Those guys go Tuesday nights. I was on their show. I got to get them on mine. They're awesome dudes, so check those guys out too. And GB Linden, I was on your show this year as well. I got to get you on this one day. But again, the Fridays at 12 is hard for people. I know this is my normal work hours, not most people. So it's hard to get people on live. So even if it's a pre-recorded sort of show, I'd love to get you guys on here too. And the Petringic brothers. You guys could 100% join our show one time. I see you in there, Robert. Hope you guys have a great new year, because yours is coming up very soon, is it not? I think you're 6 hours ahead of us. So yours will be coming up before ours. So awesome. So that was our thank yous to to some of the people who were on our show. So now we're gonna head over to. It's crazy when you look back on looking at the website. If you go back to a time machine and look at the website at the end of 2019. It's really incredible how much stuff was added throughout 2020. So let's get to it. I strung this together. This is just basically an order. I was going through videos. So there was my first live presentation when I debuted the T33.
Look at that background.
So look at that background. So that happened. That was about January 3rd. And the T33, it's funny. It's one of those models now that you just think it's always been there. It's like when you check the page, it just fit right in with everything else we got. I still got my nice, I like the German scheme on mine more than the silver one, but that was a great way to kick off the year last year. So it was exciting to get that out there. And then the tanks came in. We had announced they were coming about a week before the year ended. It was Christmas. We put out this video, but they arrived around February and started stocking up. So I was excited to, something completely different. Our first surface stuff. So here's some of us on live shows, and it was fun putting together some of these videos as well and seeing them all, and I can't wait to get more of these. So these are a lot of fun. Then we had the Benchcraft, the first time you guys saw our new brand, Benchcraft. It came with the airbrushes, if you remember. So we added airbrushing to the site. This is when Wes came out. This is part of why he came out to visit us, because he was helping us do some weathering, make some videos on how to use this stuff. And he did a great job with that. But the Benchcraft stuff really was a great addition. And now we even got Tamiya paints to go with it. So that's, we can't wait to keep expanding on especially the Benchcraft line. But the stuff's really good stuff. If you're looking to get airbrushing kits, definitely check out the Benchcraft items. Then stemming off Benchcraft, I wonder where we're going to go. Yeah, compressors. We got all different guns. I added a bunch. I strung this all together, so I just figured I'd talk over it as it went.
The boats.
Then it was Bancroft. So this was episode 11, I believe. We put new announcement, and people were like, what plane, what plane, what plane? And then we surprised everybody with boats, our own branded boats, and a lot of them this was the announcement, so they hadn't arrived yet, but a lot of them were available now. A lot of them sold out right away, and more of them are going to be coming, from aircraft carriers to the Titanic to, the sailboats. We got to play with some of the sailboats and the sport boats. That L3, I want that still. I want the landing craft so bad. And a big battleship would be awesome to see. But a lot of boat guys were pumped, and I was excited. I had a lot of fun, Alex and I, making these videos with the sailboats. I'd never sailed an RC boat before, and I can't wait till the weather gets back. And in Georgia, around February, it starts getting better. And then from there was the Flightline Bird, the twin-engine OV10 Bronco. That was about April-ish we did that one. And that was awesome. The first foam electric Bronco to hit the market. Super fun plane. Great for all sorts of conditions. I had a lot of fun flying this, and then I had schemed up one. Patrick was flying them. This is one that I definitely bring out when I just want to have more relaxing flights and have some fun, especially on a windy day. The OV10 Bronco really shines on a windy day with full flaps. She'll sit there. She reminds me of like a high wing Cub, but a scale version, if you will. So that was a fun release to have. Then we had, snuck in there, I saw the X-Wave. You guys saw another brand of ours coming out and started in the FPV realm. So 2 sets of goggles and then full package paired up with Zeo HD cameras were in our packages that are available, and they're great. They're a great platform, and that's what's leading to more of the FPV videos that we're going to have coming out. I still have my T33 canopy that I got to get out and film with. We want to do a tandem with Patrick on his T33, and I think he's putting FPV on his F14 at some point. That's what he wanted to get to. So so it's just amazing. All these little things. It's not always planes that come out. It's a lot of the little stuff that just weren't available on our site. But these little cameras from Zeo HD, and we hope to get more of their stuff. They work really well, basically plug and play. anyone can do it. And they do work really well with the tanks too. Having tank battles FPV can be fun as well. And I think some people call them Zod, right? Zod. I just say ZOHD. Then it was the 3 additions to our Skynetic line. We brought back what were, older models that you guys recognize, rebranded as Skynetic with some upgrades to them. So we had the Air Titan, which is still a great performer, great big high wing cub. I always enjoy flying that one, 4S powered. And then it was the Mercury, which is more of like a glider, simpler pusher plane, but that one great for FPV. I was using some of the FPV stuff on there, and this is when I was at Tired Irons Field to debut those at the time. So they all arrived, and trust me, in 2021 you can expect to see more from Skynetic as well, a lot more, which is a brand that we're excited to start, and that's our own in-house. So a lot of different stuff all going to be coming from Skynetic and populating all the other categories of planes, if you will, that Free Wing and Flight line doesn't populate. And then the Revolution for guys doing 3D. I think Nate, who's out there in California, he got one of these and did some videos on it. Not my flying style. I tried to make a flying video for this, but I can't make it look good. So, and I haven't been able to find a pilot at our field who flies this way. So anybody out there who has one of these, who can whip it around and do all that fun sport and some 3D type stuff, let me know. I'd love to put your video on the product page. That's the one plane, every time I take it out, it's not my flying style, but I can tell it would be awesome to whip around. A great cheap platform for guys who want to, get into something like that. So it was excited to expand upon Skynetic. Yeah, Dave Marshall, I don't know. I don't know if Dave's going to be able to whip that around. And then sneaking in was the Corrali trucks. If you guys seen in our, this is the first time we got the cars. This was the first wave of cars, surface cars that got added to our website. Was these 4, was the Kronos, the Dementor, the Pythos or Python?
I think it's Python.
These I have not seen, but these are big, bad trucks. These are like 8th scale bashers, buggies, truggy, and 2 trucks, if you will. But really awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on one of these. They went out pretty quick because I guess Corrali has a built-in fan base who is excited to find them. So we can't wait to. This was footage they gave us that we got to edit in our own way. And I love, whoever shot this did a really great job for them because it made it great. But they're really cool trucks, so they kind of just snuck in between other things, And it's funny at the start when you release this stuff on YouTube, people aren't expecting it. We have a built-in customer base who are used to, planes. So you release something like this, and we understand that it's not for everyone, but the idea behind motion is something for everyone. Some of these things look awesome. We need to find a hill to jump off. And then it was Nexa. Nexa was the next new brand that we brought in, and as of this point, we've done it in 2 waves. So the first wave came, and I have the Tiger Moth next to me, and it was some Warbirds, and now the next wave of them are in there. So it's about 36 options, I think, at this point, and it's only going to grow from here, but these have been well received and great additions to the Black Horse we already had. So we got a lot of balsa aircraft in the past year and a half. But, adding all these SKUs and all the spare parts and stuff, and knowing that, we're going to carry them for years to come. And another brand that we're going to be able to start putting our stamps on as we go forward. So a lot of these will get updated and upgraded, and we'll be more involved in the new stuff, the stuff that had never been seen before when it arrives to Nexa, which, again, just comes with time. So we were excited to, every time we got to film one, I want to give props to Lewis Sharp. He'll pop up in here. He's a member of our club. He has a few of these models. We got to film his Grasshopper. He has the Twin Otter. Patrick obviously picked up the Hurricane on his own and put that together. I still got to get out with the P40. That's something I want to do next week. Weather's starting to get better for us, hopefully. It's not too cold. I want to get that Junkers too, and that one. That one's still on my list. The F-82. I want it really bad. The Twin Mustang looks like an awesome flyer. But from been seeing, these are well-received models, and it's always exciting to have the ARFs. I really got to enjoy the ARFs, and even the Black Horse stuff. That's why I put that Zero this year was my favorite thing to fly. I never flew anything that big that I ever built. I quote-unquote, that I assembled. But, you know, that's big for someone who's really never done too many of them. And I'm excited. That Dauntless is one that I'm really excited about. So that would be awesome. Jameson, who thinks I deserve the day off? Jameson? Do I deserve another day off? William Decker, construction vehicles. We announced those a while back, but they were hit hard in the COVID. They are coming for sure. But that whole factory and the area they were located in, that was, you know, we announced that a little too soon, but they will be coming for sure. It's just been a crazy year. Then it was the MiG. Then the biggest thing that happened on our YouTube channel probably all year was this MiG. This brought more people to Motion RC. I don't even think Freewing expected the outpouring. When we announced this, it was like, whoa, you know, this gigantic this gigantic bird that we have a ton of fun flying, and a lot of guys you could see over are enjoying their MiGs, despite the few that aren't, you know, which stinks. But I just think so many people who maybe weren't, a lot of people who weren't ready for a plane like this. Maybe, I don't know. But it was awesome. I mean, look how big it is. I wanted to have it next to me here, but it's just too big to put next to me. Then slipping between the MiGs was Kyosho. So I got a couple of these, the smaller ones, the 27 scale, but we added a whole bunch of Kyosho trucks, truggies, cars, buggies, you name it, onto the website, and a lot of those went out really quick. I've seen some of these in local hobby shops, but you know, it's a brand that's been around for about 30 years. Kyosho's been around doing cars and doing RC. I believe they even make some planes and stuff too, but we don't have any of those. It's really just the surface stuff. So it was exciting to add this. I hope to get my hands on some more of these in the new year. And this, I want to see how they shot that. You know, like on a bicycle or a skateboard with a GoPro low. Like, it's not easy to film cars like that. And to keep them together, drive them together at the same time. The footage they sent us for these are, you know, well done. And then it was the Griffin, which snuck up right behind. Yas! Right behind. Kyosho kind of got stuck in there, in between the MiG and the Griffin.
This is my favorite video to cut.
This one?
The MiG was fun, but this one, like, something about those initial black shots was just, like, so epic.
Yeah. And then also Alpha was able to do that thing in the CAD software to make it, like, to sort of build it three-dimensionally, which was fun. But, you know, people are loving their Griffin, and nobody expected it because it came so fast. And I'll give you a little tip. There was, if things lined up, we were going to announce the MiG and the Griffin on the same day. When I debuted the MiG on my table, I had the Griffin hanging up behind me. The first one was there, and we were about 24 hours before. The plan might have been to do both of them. I was gonna put the MiG out and then be like, oh, and if you don't like the big one, how about this, and just drop that one too. But it just wasn't. We didn't get the okay to do that, so we waited a little bit on the Griffin. But that was fun. Then some other things I'd added to the littler stuff, like the Admiral gas engines. We got a 60cc and 125cc engines were added to the website. So building out the Admiral brand to not just be batteries, it's going to be all things power. You know, more coming. The big GP60 motor, the Admiral motors came a year before, but the big GP60 to handle a lot of these bigger ARF birds we have from Black Horse. Like, this is what I have in that Zero you saw at the beginning, and I have it in the P47 right now. Just an awesome motor, and beautifully done. It's exciting. I mean, that's, you know, that's it in my hands. It's it's a beast.
It's a beast.
It's a beast. And it swings those props beautifully, and it's awesome to get there. Yeah, Nate, I mean, if both of them got dropped, it would have been really rough. But we did get some people who, you know, dropped their MiG orders when the Griffin did come out. I mean, it happens. Then the other things, guys, that I didn't even get in front of me yet. Tamiya trucks and cars. You know, Tamiya is probably one of the biggest names in RC. We even got Tamiya paints on the website. More of that's going to be coming in. So it's great to be able to add a brand like that to the website. They've got tanks and cars and so much stuff. And then probably the thing, a lot of behind the scenes we're excited about too is this Benchcraft stuff, guys. That's our own brand where we added, I think, 600 something SKUs. Right now there's 600 different products on there. Everything from spinners to pilot figures to tools to all your little accessories at good prices to, again, hopefully you guys can find, the idea you should be able to buy a product on our website and then find everything else you need to get that product up and going. From adhesives to tapes to, we got props in there. I put a Benchcraft, I think it's a Benchcraft prop I was going to put on the P40 until I realized it had a 3-blade. We need a 3-blade prop till the spinner was 3-blade. But, all good stuff that, and all lines that we hope to further expand upon in this new year coming up. So, yeah, I zoomed in on the side. Look at all the different, product types. And for people who sort our website, if you don't realize you could click all these buttons, they're awesome because you could sort by exactly what you need wherever you are. Makes it really easy, but just all the different little categories going through the Benchcraft stuff. So, makes it a lot easier to find. So that was a lot of stuff. I mean, it's certainly well over thousands of SKUs that got put on there. So Eros, if you're out there, Todd Breda, he does most of that, and it is, he's doing that one at a time and getting them all up in time, which is awesome. So that was Motion RC's 2020. I wish we could have mixed in some what's it called? Some events in there. would have been really nice. We did not expect when we did the live show. The idea was, some weeks we're going to be at Jonal, some weeks we're going to be at Jet Jam, or we're going to be here, we're going to be there, we're going to be there, and
we were nowhere.
We were nowhere. And then I remember in March when they initially did that first shutdown, that was when you weren't coming in, so it was like. So remember, I did a week where I was just unboxing things I had and just, hanging out, and that sort of, kept things going. So it sort of came at the right time, the live show, to cater to what happened to all of us. I think a lot of YouTubers in general got, views going up, because what else were people going to do for a while when they felt like they couldn't get out there? So, I hope, though, in 2021, I've already talked to the guys at Jonal, at Triple Tree. They are going full steam ahead, so I think early next week or sometime they're going to get me the registration. So, we're probably going to register. We should, we'll at least register, and if something happens by May, but I'm going to get pretending like I'm going to Jonal. So that would be awesome. Oh, and then I see, forgotten, all the high-performance in-runners. I think that was this year, really, that everything started to get upgraded, too. So, all those in-runner editions was another big upgrade to a lot of stuff that, was already great, that now just has a better power system in it. So that was awesome. Yeah, COVID was great for YouTube. It was. I mean, technology shined, I guess, in that sense. But talking to people, James Bowen, been flying the SU-35. Think he needs more power for that kind of flying. Try it in run. I mean, it's about as light as you're going to make it. With the EPS foam on the SU-35. But you will see. In runners, yeah. I hear ya. And speaking of which, I got that new ME262. I'm almost done with the one I showed you guys a little while ago. I just want to do some weathering on it. I got to get some black on it. But I decided to go to Fantasy Scheme. So I didn't want to wait on Cali Graphics. So I got the Canon on the front. I can't grab it now to show you. But I got the 50mm Canon on the front of that 262. And, what's it called? Got it all painted up. But then I just went with sticker sets I already had. So I made like a fantasy looking, since it didn't really exist in real life, made it like a captured bird. But it's going to look cool. So we'll show that probably next Friday. Hopefully I could get out with it next week and get it in the air a little bit. It looks so silly with the big 50mm Canon on the front of it. But it's hard. I can't put it on its nose now. I didn't make it removable. So it's just got to live there. I wish there was Jameson. I was going to put a beer on the table or something, but I don't know. I can't drink at work. I'm not a big drinker normally anyway, but later on tonight I will partake, maybe not in the way GB does with all his wine glasses, but no, this is just coffee, and probably my third one today. It's been a while. It's like I'm doing this all over again. Every time there's a live show, I always get nervous about a couple seconds before we go on. But even though I'm just sitting here in silence, and you wouldn't know how many people you were talking to anyway. Bailey's. Now I can't do alcohol and coffee.
Who wants Bailey's?
I like coffee as coffee. If I'm gonna do alcohol, alcohol is just alcohol. I don't want to mix it with anything. Just give it to me straight. Would be better with some ice. So what else is going on here? So again, that sums up 2020. So I say let's go through, because again, we got time. We're not getting out of here in 30 seconds, in 30 minutes. Did I promise some hoodies were on the way? I hope so. Merchandise is really not. It's hard to do. It really is to go through to at least stock it. What I'm hoping is to get some sort of like a lot of YouTubers do with the. I would rather have another company where I could just send designs and then you buy from them. They make the stuff. That's what I'd rather do. Like right now, our T-shirts and merch. We don't really want to send it to our warehouse and have it sit there, it'd probably be easier to just do it that way. So I think that's what we're looking into. I mean, I'd love to, on the bottom of this live show, just have the store there like other people do, and just, and just do it that way. Because I have no problem making the designs. That's easy. But, when you're trying to buy stuff that you want to sell in your own warehouse, you got to go through, you're testing the quality. Like I remember just getting the shirts with just motion on it. If you remember, these shirts came out a few years ago, but like we didn't have just basic shirts. That was one of the first things I did when I got here. And finding the right shirt, how many different companies we were getting sent shirts from, and like having people agree on it, it got me to the point where I'm like, I just, this is awesome, but I would love some beanies, some hoodies. I would love that stuff.
Give me the sweatshirt.
But I hope we do it with, now it seems like the way most companies are going, let another company handle the production, but now it's just finding a company where they've got to be consistent, right? Like, if you're going to put Motion RC on something, hopefully they follow what we try to do, is make everything good, you know what I mean? So I know from some of these, at least the one that YouTube, why am I forgetting the name? YouTube uses Teespring. You get some things from Teespring, and it's not always sometimes. I mean, apparently they're good at returning and stuff, but sometimes it's not as good. So, but hopefully, in the future we'll do that. But, yeah, I would love to do that. It would just be easier to do it. But I had a Teespring built up, and I had posters and all that stuff on there. Leggings. Everybody throws in the girls' leggings. I had Motion leggings there. It would be ready to go. But that would be awesome. But let's get to some of these shows. So what I did was I went through all the shows where we ever shared any customer community stuff, and I pulled out the best. Just from me, this was just me. I pulled out what I thought was the best thing from that episode. So some episodes only had one thing, and then a few episodes there were two things, and then the idea at the very end, we're gonna just go through, show this all, and then when we get to the gifts and awards, I got a few $25 gift cards that we can give away to someone that something that has been seen in this show. Now, some of the things I did, if you remember, we obviously had the March Madness tournament, so anybody who was entering the March Madness thing, some of the stuff does come up, but you're not going to win if you won the guy, Joey Jorgensen, who won the March Madness. He's going to pop up, because that AWACS was awesome, but obviously he's not going to win, because he already won. But, let's get started. So episode 3 was the first time I ever shared anything, and it was this. It was one of the first AL37s that were customized at the time, because remember, people only started getting their AL37s, I think, in December of 2019. So it was like the first time that people really started posting was probably in the middle of December. We weren't doing live shows, but then when this one popped up was Chris Holmes with this Star Wars AL37, and it was just awesome. It was like, whoa, I remember I'd seen like Delta ones and American Airline ones, and they were cool, but this is the first person who went, whoa, above and beyond, and then you started seeing so many other ones. But it was an awesome scheme. So that was the first thing I ever shared from the customer. Then we had to go to episode 5, because again, we skipped around, especially early on in the episodes. But then we had Brett Hecht, he's done so much good stuff this year. Just recently, he finished his P80. He finished his A4 Blue Angel scheme. Obviously, you guys have seen him whip around the MiG on our show, the F-14, but he did this, and this was submitted in March Madness, but he hand-painted that nose art on that F-14. I remember that. And he always does immaculate work, and that just looks so cool. That was by far the best thing we shared on that episode. So Brent, if you're out there, always doing killer stuff. This is in the running for something at the end of the show for sure. Episode 7, there was Joey Jurgensen. So this was leading up. So episode 7 would have been February-ish. We were heading towards the March Madness tournament. It hadn't happened yet, but he was the first person to do the AWACS. And from what I heard, he got out there and he flew with Jeremy and Justin. He's over in Utah. And unfortunately, he lost 2 of these. He made it twice and lost it again. I guess having that big pod on top probably does not do anything nice for the flying characteristics of this jet. But he was the first to do it with the spinning dome, and I remember seeing it. We were all blown away, and we just sort of knew that this was probably going to win the March Madness because it was just, so out there, and you can imagine the work. But I remember this was the first time he flew it, and he got the video up, and he did an absolutely awesome job with this. And, it was just gorgeous to see it fly. So excellent work by Joey, and he ended up winning the March Madness tournament by like a mile in the final voting when it was all said and done. Then we had Chris Thompson. So this was episode 8? Episode 8, and he had the Poseidon. So it was a P8. So this is when people started going with the military AL conversions, and this was another awesome one. So again, this what you're seeing doesn't necessarily mean it's the best ever, but on that episode, so if you go back into the episode, you'd see everything else we shared. I was just pulling them out. I wasn't going to try to put everything in. I didn't have that kind of time, so we wanted to make it on a show. So if you just happen to be up against something, if yours was awesome and happened to be up against something that I thought might have been more awesome, you just lost on that show. Again, this was impromptu, but it's still an awesome bird. I love all the points on top. It just looks so cool, and this was entered into the March Madness as well. And then something happened where we didn't share more customer community because, again, this was before we had graphics, till we got to episode 14. And this one came from Gauthier Vanderberg. And if I remember correctly, as we move forward, it was these 2 yaks. And they just looked absolutely awesome with their scheme. And I think it was one of his only posts I've seen of his on Facebook at the time. Where I saw them, but I remember sharing these, and they were really, really well done. And I think one's a 90 and one's a 70, and they're just beautiful, and they look exactly the same. Like, hard to even make them look like that. 2 separate birds, so that was awesome. And now there was another big jump. So between episode 14, which would have been March. Remember, we never did customer stuff on the weeks where we debuted stuff. So, like, when the Bronco came out.
The Learn to Land episodes. The
Learning to Land.
Tours,
yeah.
We brought Alpha on, usually.
The Factory Tour, which was the most watched next to the MiG unveiling. The Factory Tour is the most watched live show ever. That would have been in between here. So we jumped to episode 23 when we got back to the community. And this came from Tim Gatlin. He won Jet Jam with his Iron Maiden AL-37. So the only thing better than some of these other AL-37s is an Iron Maiden AL-37. Because you can imagine the parties that would have been going on in an Iron Maiden AL-37. But the fact that won over at Jet Jam when we couldn't go, that was awesome. So anybody there, would do it. Yeah, the Factory Tour, man. I see Jeff saying it. That was one of the best episodes, and we do have other factory footage from some other factories. We'll definitely be doing more of that in the future. But obviously, to be able to do it with Free Wing and for them to, work with us and to go through it, it's definitely a live show that I try to send people to, especially the people who you see them comment, "Oh, it's just foam," and it's like, okay,
go watch the episode.
Go watch the episode. Like you have all the information you need to not say ignorant things like that. It's there. But what are you gonna do? Then episode 24, James, I think I saw you in here, James Bowen. This was my favorite thing from that episode and one of my favorite things all year. This silver Spitfire. Right now, he posted another picture, so I added some graphics to it, and it is the cover photo of the Customer Community Facebook group. I love this Spitfire. And I eventually when I get a new Flightline Spitfire, I will turn my old one into a chrome one, because something about the chrome version just looks awesome. And the pictures he got of it with the sunlight on it, it was a great share. And still flying strong. Love to hear it, James. This thing is fantastic. So everybody knows I'm a sucker for Spitfires, and when I saw that one pop over, I loved it. And I think you got to fly with Matt Miller's blue one, right? At some point. Maybe you guys are close. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But Matt Miller in an episode had done a blue one that I think he lost at some point. But that one was gorgeous too. But this chrome one just looks awesome. I really dig it.
Great picks, Rachel. There you go.
Great picks, Rachel? Is that what? Oh, it's what?
We took the pictures.
Oh, there you go. Beautiful pictures. I mean, the pictures might be better than the plane.
Oh.
Maybe. I mean, they're in frame. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. For sure. Oh, so that was episode 24. There's something else from episode 23. We'll save that for a little while. That was my...
Those two?
Yeah. We'll get to that. Then we had episode 27. Justin. The best Justin pick of the year. Justin does a lot of awesome stuff, but the inverted L39, inches off the ground, I loved it. Just the background, the sky, everything about the shot was perfect, and nothing else could touch it on that episode. It's already at episode 27. See how fast it jumps? Episode 28, if you guys remember this one, I mean, unbelievable. Dan Smith with the F-22s, to get them like that. I mean, it's funny because Jeremy and Justin, especially Jeremy, when they're out there, they get a lot of pictures of flying in tandem, and they get close. But that might be the perfect timing of two planes next to each other, unless it's photoshopped. But I doubt it, because the next pick looks legit. To get them both together like that, between the pilots and for the camera person, because with our luck, we'd snap that photo, look at it, and be blurry, and never get them together. Like, so much has to happen. Got to be at the right focal distance. Everything's got to be perfect when you're taking those pictures. So that was awesome. Dan Smith, if you're out there, those F-22s was a great sight to see. Then episode 29, Jeff Wellis with this one picture, which is one picture that popped up on Facebook. I don't know if I've ever seen him post again. You kind of get used to the names that pop up a lot on the group of who does post and who doesn't. But that was an awesome formation shot as well. 3 completely different free-wing birds, all at the right angle, with a nice background, L-39, Avanti, and a MiG-21. Just a great shot. It's hard to get a bunch of planes. Like, we do those, Alex has to film them a lot, and we do the gaggles, and you really just got to follow one plane and hope other planes get into the frame. You can't try to film all of them at the same time. It'll never happen.
Like a dog chasing cars sometimes. I'm like, I'm going to follow that one. Now I'll follow that one.
I want that one. And then you move off the one that you were filming, and then it does something good when you're not on it. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. That was episode 29. It's about halfway through. Then we had episode 31. The best thing I think popped out of that was Papa Boozer from the Merry Boozers, his OV-10 that he customized. And what I love, he does all the Papa dots. So he dots the plane, but that Bulldog was hand-painted nose art on that OV-10. So I love the way he does the riveting. This is what I'm going to do, Papa. I'm going to do it to my custom ME262 that I'm doing. I'm going to rivet it up and then weather it just to make it pop that much more, because I still have my Flightline Corsair that he Papa dotted for me at Joe Knoll 2019, I believe, and still flying strong, and it just looks so awesome when you get those dots on there. The rivets always make things pop, which is really nice. Happy New Year to you too. Anyone who is just joining us, and I see some Happy New Year's comments, Happy New Year to you guys as well. I hope your Christmases were awesome. I know Santa was awesome for my kids. I hope it was for your family as well. Oh, and then this was one of the coolest things. Now, he can't be a winner because he helps us out in Europe, but this is Jets and Wings. Robert, if you're out there, man, you converted that F-15, our F-15 to the F-15E Strike Eagle, and you see it there next to the original. Unbelievable.
Looks so good.
The cover to the, to the detail in it. I remember when this popped up, people were flipping out, and everybody now wants Free Wing to just do this one in the size of the MiG, and I would be down for that.
That's
yeah,
why not?
That just like I love the gray on it. Just something about it looks, it's modern, it's sleek, and just the way he did it. And he's working on some other stuff. He's doing great work too. So, get in touch with him. He's Robert from Jets and Wings. He's got a Facebook community. He's got a YouTube channel. If you want to ask him how he did it, I'm sure he'd gladly help you out. But he did a great job converting that F-15. It just looks so mean. It looks so mean. It's awesome. Updated F-15. And the funny thing, the F-15 we have is probably one of the most scale birds we got. I mean, it's got virtually everything on that F-15. It's a beautiful plane to take out. I just hate adding all the no steps stickers to it. That's the worst part about it. Takes forever. But that was awesome. That was episode 32. And then we also, in episode 32, had was the first time we got to see Brent flying, and it was this F-14. So I think this is a minute long. So it's one of those, it's funny, a lot of the YouTube videos didn't end up making or I wasn't doing YouTube videos at the start as much, but this led to Brent with his MiG, but this was when he was inverted flat spinning the F-14, which was awesome. So just adding the second time getting to the show, but it was hard to pick between the F-15 Eagle or this. I just love that he's just throwing around a Tomcat like that. It's awesome. Dennis, I'm sure it's going to get an updated power system. That makes sense. Everything is, so eventually it's just a matter of time before they get to it. So, but eventually every model is going to have an in-runner system in it. The Outrunners are now old news, if you will. Then we go to episode 34. RC Tommy is the first time he popped up. I happened to catch that channel. This is he's flying out there in, where are they again? Norway, I believe. But I remember watching this video and just loving the composition. It's all about, obviously the Spitfire is my favorite, but just the way these videos are shot, how crisp the camera is.
The circle cuts.
Yeah, if they just circle cuts, we could deal with the circle wipes. At least they're not star wipes, but circle wipes we could deal with. That's, late 90s. Or right when linear editing came out, it was like the star wipe was people could do it, so they're like, let's do it! And then you realize it probably only works in Star Wars. But just the way they shot. I mean, when he, any video they pop out, it's always crisp. Obviously, it's a camera person who knows their equipment and uses it really well. And with the background, when you combine it all, RC Tommy, if they just do one video a week, they'll have a great channel. They're top notch. They don't even have to do much. If you're getting a new video like this of a great flight on a Monday afternoon, that's more than enough. So I hope RC Tommy keeps it going. They got some good pilots out there, a good location, and obviously a tremendous camera work to get it in, and a perfect Spitfire landing. So good work on RC Tommy. Episode 35, one of the best things we popped out was this 4-shot of the OV-10. So 4 completely customized OV-10s happened to navigate to Jay Custer's field, and gotta love that.
Look at that squad.
I mean, it's just a squad of OV-10s.
You got the Power Rangers in OV-10s.
Which Power Ranger was your favorite, Alex?
Green.
Green? Green, no doubt, huh? I guess I would have been blue. Power Rangers, I think I might be a little old for the Power Rangers.
You definitely are.
It's more your speed. I would have been the Ninja Turtles if it came, that's my color. And Donatello was my boy.
Oh yeah, Donatello with his stick.
With the bow. Jay, this is awesome with the OV-10s. I think I dig the Like the tan one. The tan camo would probably be my favorite. But he never got an up-close shot of that one in the back. It looks awesome.
We've seen a lot of the Cal Fire ones, too.
Yes.
Them pop up recently, and they look awesome.
People love the fire ones, and they're being used for that to this day, so it's awesome. Moving on to Clint Sims. This one popped up in episode 36, and
so nice.
And absolutely gorgeous. The only sad part about it's just one picture, I think, right? Yeah. Yep. He just posted this and like, look what I did to my Corsair, and everybody was like, this is amazing. Why can't I see more pictures? Like, how do you do that to me? How do you do that to us? It's an absolutely gorgeous looking Corsair. So that was by far the best thing we saw on episode 36. Then I'm assuming episode 37 must have been a release because we jumped to episode 38. And this one came from Patrick Gagnon. I always have a hard way. I see him on social a lot. Somebody can phonetically spell it out for me of how to pronounce it. But it was one of the first 4 shots of everybody enjoying their MiG. So you have from the right, I believe it's Bren Hecht, then Justin Lamb. Is it Justin Link in there? I'm trying to remember
Somebody will let us
who's
know in
who.
the comments.
Justin, if you could tell me who everybody is in order in that picture. From St. George. Justin, it's you, right? Is that you in there? And then, yeah, just 4 MiGs back to back to back to back. Always looks good when it's Gagnon. So it is Gagnon. Okay. And that's him, third from the right. And then must be Patrick on the left, I assume. And then we had another one came out 2 episodes later from Dan Smith. So,
I love this squad picture.
and this was might be better frame shot than the other one, but
better frame. They're all in black. It's
they're
like
all in black.
Like the angle of it's great. I love this shot.
This is the MiG Mafia.
Yeah.
The other one is the MiG Squad, but this is great.
I feel like they need the Adidas pants and the shoes.
Adidas stripes on their sleeves, like Russian MiG Mafia. 4 different colors, like a red Adidas tracksuit, a blue Adidas tracksuit. But that was a great shot, and just the way the clouds were, it was dark. Just a good share. It's good to see. I believe I had that as a customer photo at some point. Both of them at some point. It worked really well, so that was great. And then this leads us to episode 41, where probably the video of the year happened. The YouTube video of the year. People think it's faked. I don't. I just think it's incredible. Either way, regardless what you believe of this, watching this video through is absolutely epic. And we're not going to watch the whole thing here, but Stu911, the only way I found it was because he submitted a ticket. He shared it on CS. He's like, check out what I did. And, it was awesome. I still don't know how it fully took place, but I know you can get that shot with a 360 camera. You can manipulate it in post to always make the horizon level. That's the point of a 360 camera, part of it. But it's just the length of the video and how it continues to go and go and go.
It's incredible.
And just where he shot it.
I don't understand so many things about it, but I love it.
People are saying, oh, they photoshopped the plane into it. And if he did, then what did he use to fly down the mountain?
And if he did that, he gets video of the year for the effort.
For the effort. Because, if you watch, the sun is always, the lighting on the plane is always where the sun is. And that's the most impossible thing to, and that would be the most impossible thing to do the editing on. To get the sunlight right, that's what they spend millions of dollars on in movies to get right for CGI. You can mistake it. But when it goes behind trees, the shadows come across the plane it was there. It was doing something. But either way, an absolutely epic video. So for my money, that was the best YouTube video I saw all year. So. Oh,
so what our buddy Lamb is saying is somebody's on a glider and they just attach the plane to the front of the glider? Is that what you're saying, Justin?
Wow. I mean, if they did that
They're
would be
flying really
insane.
Crazy with their glider then.
Yeah, really crazy. I mean, if they and the one thing that leads me to believe is this channel is very small. It only had 100 or so subscribers when I saw it. It's been around since 2008. He's posted random videos. He had one similar to this.
But
so it's just
doesn't he roll it at one point?
Yeah, to do that effort. for just this one video and then not build on it just seems so ridiculous. Like, who has the time? Like, that's rolled in post.
That was post, yeah.
That was post, but then the plane does do a regular roll. So, but either way, it's unbelievable. So Stu911, that was one of my favorite videos to watch. I could watch it forever. I could talk about it forever. And it's awesome. But like this, all done in post. With a 360 camera, you can move the camera in the back. Remember, you can see he could turn the camera and look behind him if it's a 360 camera. He doesn't. But it's all about what you do in the editing software at the end. But either way, it's awesome. So let's move on. There was one other thing, episode 41. Want to give some shout out to Michael Rosnick, Delta Dart. I saw this and I didn't realize that Stu's video was in there. But you know what? Some Roban helis. He always gets some gorgeous shots of his helicopters. So really awesome work on Michael Rosnick. He's always around Hobby Squawk and everywhere. It's awesome. Let's say he doesn't look behind because there's nothing to see. But if he's faking it, then, if the camera's on the vertical, either way, still an awesome video.
We could literally have a live show dedicated.
We got a live show dedicated to it. I want to bring him on here and just like, how did you do it? But all the effort for a channel with, 100 subscribers, seems like so much work went into it. There'd be more work to go into it faking it than real life. Then we get on to episode 42. I'm moving on. The KC-135, which from Jeremy Salt was already awesome, but probably would have popped up earlier in the show. But when he attached the little F-16 to it for the refuel with the refueling probe, I mean, that set it above and beyond. So that's absolutely awesome. He showed it to me privately, just like, check this out. And, when the little plane extends out the butt, it's just really funny. But it just looks so cool being up there. So, and I never asked, is it removable? Like, is it easy to just take off if you just want to fly the, the jet by itself? Or at this point, there's no reason to fly the KC-135 unless it's in the middle of a refuel. Let us know. And then I think he's got video of it flying, right? There's one with it passing. Such a cool thing. This is why I love the community. They do some cool stuff. Look at me taking credit from it.
Great job, James. Just
because I'm here, that's why he did it. But it just looks so awesome. Awesome. That looks cool when it goes by. Moving on, episode 43. This is like 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Matthias. These pictures. Matthias Benintro.
Nailed it.
Matthias Benintro. Just gorgeous, gorgeous pictures of the OV-10 Bronco stock. I mean, these are professionally shot. Just very crisp, and, I always appreciate that kind of stuff. Whenever you see a picture is the composition of it more than just the subject matter. So, really well done. To have a plane in the air and, again, to get it in focus is not an easy thing. For a still picture, you got to have the right equipment. You got to know how to use the equipment because you're rarely going to get that with auto settings on. So, good work there. Love to see it. And then episode 43 was also LB. I couldn't not put this in here. I didn't know which I liked more. I liked them both so much. But this F-18 customization that he did on Hobby Squawk, he posted it. The Aces was absolutely awesome. Are these blown up in, or is that what they...
No, that was
that was how, yeah, he took a lot of close-ups. Forget where which one was the...
You want
the full reveal. There it is. One of them. It's just a gorgeous looking plane. And then he's got the spade on top. It looks awesome. Just well done. Reminds me of, in a way, Victor Shamulis's MiG with that big... He's trying to do a big graphic across the top. That's not easy. But something about that just looks absolutely fantastic for the F-18. And thank you so much for sharing it. In episode 44, Air Guardian, I had to get you in here. This is one of the coolest composed shots that you put together. this was my most favorite, was this Colbit maneuver, you called it, where with your S30, with your Su-35, the way you did that and the way you put it together. Really well done, man. Obviously, your videos are awesome, too. I tried to steer with it. It's funny. Pictures were just winning out most of the time than the YouTube videos as I was going through. If I had to choose one, if I was trying to choose one from something. But that was awesome. So it was really cool the way you composed the shot and put it together. And if you want to try it, I would say, you said you did this and from a moving camera stills. Put the camera on a tripod and try to do it in the background, and then you wouldn't have to worry about, moving any of the shots. You just take each frame out, and then you got the still image. That would be awesome. But that was a great shot. Just cool and different, from what we usually see. Then episode 46, it had to be another AL-37 from Bob Scroy. The Simpsons. That's awesome. Marge on the tail. Yellow. I assume you paint it yellow and then you put the graphics on, but it just looks really good. As I said when this came out, I was never a Simpsons watcher. I'm not a cartoon or adult cartoon. I don't watch Family Guy. I don't watch South Park. Just not my cup of tea, but I like it. I like the plane either way. So good on that. It's fantastic looking. Then episode 47, finally Vic finished. This was the week he finished his MiG, and absolutely fantastic work. He updated on progress, but Victor RC Jet, there he is. The Mango plane was definitely awesome, but I don't know if I ever shared the Mango plane on just the show.
I think it was right into March Madness.
Yeah, I think it went right into March Madness, so, Yeah, Justin knows. Yeah, I still like WWE. I'll do a Hulk Hogan yellow AL-37, probably be mine. Make a Bane 737. Yeah, that'll work too. That would be funny. But, yeah, this MiG is awesome. And then that leads us to what? The last one will be episode 48 from last week. And it was US Canuck 1XA from Hobby Squawk with another stunning F-18. And, with the shine on, he got the light on the side. Just did a lot of cool detail to it and work to finish it out. So absolutely stunning. And man, that was just some small stuff of what we shared. Obviously some shows we shared so much stuff. So Stone Cold AL-37 would be fun, I guess, but I feel like Stone Cold needs more than an AL-37, don't you think? Put it in something better than that. But that's so funny. RC Airliners, too much oh, sorry, man. It's just, it's just for fun, man. This was no, we're just having a year in review. I tried to pick one thing. It would have taken me hours to show everything that we showed throughout the year, but I believe I showed your stuff. It's Rob, right? Actually, where was his Lakers plane?
Where was the Lakers plane?
Where was the Lakers plane?
Shame on you for not showing the Lakers plane.
It might have been in a show that we didn't have the folder for. Again, this is all
big call out to Rob Thomas. That Lakers plane.
The Lakers plane was
Everything
epic.
he did was epic.
The Mamba plane was epic. You do epic stuff a lot. But it all came down to, again, I was just picking one thing from each show, man. One thing. So, post it in Hobby Squawk would be even better on the show link. Then it'll definitely make the show. Facebook, again, I moderate the Facebook group, but I can't possibly see every single thing that posts through. It's impossible. And things on Facebook get lost too easily. Whereas at least if it's in the Hobby Squad group link, which is in the description of this video, if you share it there, I'm going to see it. And it'll get shared on the show for sure. So jump it in there. And then this time next year, we're going to make it now dedicated. So, next Friday, we'll talk about how to do it. But if your stuff gets on the show, then you will automatically be entered into next year's New Year's Eve, or depending, I don't know what day. If New Year's Eve's on a Sunday, we're not doing it Sunday, we'll do it that Friday. But whatever the last show of the year is next year, we'll make it big, and we'll be preparing for it as the year goes forward. So starting next week, if we share your stuff on the show next Friday, we're going to save it. We're probably going to pick, maybe what we'll do is, what if we do it live? Pick the winner of what makes the show each week. So people know they're entered right off the bat, and then we can make it some sort of contest. So this is something we could build towards going forward. So, that was awesome. But just the stuff we see is unbelievable out there. So getting to some gift awards, I had a couple $25 gift cards I wanted to give to some of the stuff we saw. So if you could go back, can you go back in that folder, or does it change to the back to the community?
Go back to the best of the community.
Okay, we could go back. We don't need the red bar to give some awards. People get it. We're in that point now. So first gift award I did want to give James Bowen. I'm going to give you a $25 gift card. Oh, to redeem these gift cards, just email me at marketing@motionrc.com. Sometime from today until, I'll give you till February 1st if you're watching this video late, to email me if we call out your name. But James Bowen, for that Chrome Spitfire, I would like to say you're going to win yourself $25 gift card to Motion RC. So email me at marketing@motionrc.com. So that should be very simple. If you hear your name here, that's the easiest way for me to contact you. And then being that tomorrow is people aren't working tomorrow, so figure Monday or Tuesday. Again, these gift cards come as an email code, so you'll just get an email with your code at the point. So probably it'll happen early next week. I won't be able to send it out right away today, I don't think, but I'll try. But James Bowen, you are definitely a winner. Stu911, I'm giving you $25. You emailed me directly to share that video, and I don't care how it was done, but I think it was episode 41. There it is. I don't care how it was done. I'm giving you $25 card, man, because this video was awesome, and I'll go back to it time and time again. It's definitely blew my mind that morning when I saw it, and you are definitely a winner here. So email marketing@motionrc.com and just say who you are. And again, you're obviously going to need to have a Motion RC account, which I assume you do. Everybody, you're going to need a Motion RC account if you to get your gift card. So just make sure you have that at some point if you win. And now, who would be next? Scroll down. I think one of my favorite ones of the year. Which one were you saying, Alex?
Whoa, don't put this on me.
Can I throw one on you?
I wasn't ready
Again,
for
we
that.
weren't playing. This is impromptu. Like, I was
Yeah.
going through this, like, the last couple days, and I just said, these are the people we're going to throw in here. Oh, $25 to Brent Hecht. Brent Hecht, the F-14, and the work you've just done throughout the year, from this to what you shared in the March Madness, to the videos we're seeing of how you're flying your stuff, to now think of it, you've probably appeared on the show more than most, just in appearances, of your stuff getting shared. So Brent, 100% email marketing@motionrc.com, and you will get a $25 gift card. And I got one more for somebody. So what else? We got John's MiG-29 Maiden in the Dark gets my vote. Did that get shared? Did I share it on here? Remember, it had to have been shared on this show. So,
I think we did, but
I don't know if I shared that, GB. But also, if you're a YouTuber, per se, I don't know if I can have you win. I don't know if that would be fair. Like, I can't, I don't know if I'd give away for, I don't know how that would work. Again, this was all impromptu. This was just for fun. There, and then you're thinking this.
that gets my vote if I get one.
Alex is getting one. This is Alex's vote. Dan Smith, if you're out there, because Alex loves the composition of it, getting two F-22s in frame at the same time is definitely an awesome shot, and it's a good community post. And again, this is all in fun, and it's going to grow, as we go. James, you pulled my heartstring because it's a Spitfire. So being that I got to choose, a Spitfire is going to win the day for me for a lot of times. But it's a beautiful plane. I want to do it. So that's it. So we have Dan Smith with his F-22s. Email us at marketing@motionrc.com. We've got Stu911 for the video. Email us at marketing@motionrc.com. James Bowen and Brent Hecht. 4 $25 gift cards. One $25 gift card for each of you. And hopefully I'll have that out to you the latest early next week if I can't get them out today. But you have to email me, especially Stu911. I don't know your real name, so you got to email me from and give me your email address for your Motion RC account, so then we could put it in. But next year we'll make this big, because again, 2021, hopefully we're at events, but I think we're going to do another Crash competition towards the end of the year. We're going to do another March Madness, which is coming up, so all you people who have your new customizations, because remember, any plane that got submitted last year can't be entered again. It has to be something new. So we're going to have another March Madness competition, and then we got to come up with something else too. But then hopefully at the end, the highlight. I didn't get a chance to do it this year, but now that's what we'll do. We'll save the best, so YouTube videos, guys, that are going to get shared. I want to make a nice highlight video, have Alex edit it together for the end of next year, just a community highlight video. So any YouTube video that gets entered, or video in general, whether you share it on Facebook or YouTube, we'll put that together for the end of next year. We'll make this show much bigger. Again, this was more impromptu than whatever, and I won't take off 8 days between, so that I was kind of doing it, every night. I was going through a few shows, like.
Yeah, sorry to anybody I'm seeing
on
the
my
comments
free
about
time.
people being like, oh, you forgot about me, you ignored me. It's like, guys, we just threw this together real quick.
Who said I ignored? John Killen? Who?
That was, remember, he had awesome F4s, the Black Bunny.
Oh yeah, I saw the F4s, the Black Bunnies, man. They're awesome. But again, it's just a matter of, within that show, was it the best thing that got shared at that show? But next year we'll do it. Yeah, according to me. I mean, it's the only one I could think of. That can't have a vote. It's just, it's just for fun, guys. Enjoy it. Have some fun with it, and apologies, but. Killing, you got what, 4 F4s now? They all look awesome, and they should win. There's so many guys I didn't even see pop up. You Weedman.
Yeah.
He does amazing customizations, but just based on what was shared in that one singular episode is what you're going up against. So, that was what was fun about it. But either way, it was awesome. So this year I want to share some funny bits. If you guys remember my almost crash, let's put that on for a second. This was my favorite save of my life, I think. If you guys remember this was, so it's funny because we just did the RX placement quick tip. And when I opened the canopy of this, I failed to follow my own quick tip because I realized that in the position that this plane goes into, I forget, is this the full video?
You got 2 minutes here. So
2 minutes? Oh, okay.
Should I click forward?
Well, I go up into the Humpty Bump, if you will, as I come over. Yeah, flip forward.
No,
oh, there it is.
Too far. Here
too
we go.
far. Is this the land? This is when I landed.
No.
Nope.
Is this the landing?
This is the landing, because I was losing signal again. Yeah, back. Oh, there we go. Back. There we go. So I'll come through. So when we went up, I realized that my aerials would not have been able to be seen coming through. Like, at this position, my battery was just right about here. My battery would have been in the way of, and I get signal back there. And then I just got completely lucky. So, unbelievable. That I managed, people at the field, I can't believe that. It was all luck, obviously, because I was holding full, right, because of thinking where I wanted the plane to go, and then when signal catches back on, it immediately rolled in that direction, and everybody just thought it was going to be, I thought it was toast. It went completely beyond.
Me as the cameraman, I'm like, it's gone.
I didn't even see it until somebody said it's still flying, and then I looked back up behind us, and it was there. It was unbelievable. But that was one of my favorite moments from the year, because it's one of those where you're just like, wow, and you still got to bring home that plane that day, which was exciting, and to slow it down was really crazy because you could barely see it, and you were on a ladder to my left.
Ladder for some reason.
And there it is. It's like goes right
quick
behind.
Flash of red right there.
Yeah, right behind that fence, and then just gone. I mean, traveled through space and time. It was crazy. But, it's even better because you caught it on camera, so I could be like, hey. And the only other thing I did this year when Justin was here was I took off my Mirage with reversed ailerons and managed to land it. So that was awesome, but we didn't have the camera rolling at that time. But that was unbelievable. So that was fun. And then obviously the crash contest. So we could play some of this. If you guys remember, this was the most watched video of the year that we had on there. People love crashes. It has over 200-something thousand views on YouTube, and obviously Alex put it together with the music and the way it's edited adds to it, because a lot of highlight videos aren't edited, if you will. They're just sort of composed together, stitched together. But he did a great job putting this together, and we loved all the submissions that we got for this. We weren't expecting as many, and some that I had never seen before. So, if you're out there and if you're filming and you get a crash, save that footage so you can enter it in, because, I'm sure I'm going to add to it in 2021. A couple of my crashes made this video, but they weren't.
I could, hear all the voices from cutting this for so long. Jeff! Oh.
This one,
I crashed it.
Some of these videos, and then obviously, the hardest part is some of these awesome videos are not going to be able to make it. Won't be able to be re-entered into the same video, but we'd love to do these type of edits. So maybe I'll crash. I always want to crash one on purpose. Well, what I would love to do is set a camera up, if you ever watch the super slow motion guys, I would love to set a camera up like that with, thousands of frames per second on a brick wall, and just fly a jet full throttle right into a brick wall, both balsa and foam, and just watch it crunch and see what happens to it, purposeful, crashes, like crash test dummies. Always thought that would be amazing. But that's awesome. John, thank you for joining us, man. Heading to Denver for his check ride. Happy New Year to you, sir, if you're leaving. But, this was my AL37. Alex, can you slow it down a little more?
I didn't say that.
Oh, sure, I can slow it down in a turn. Oh, no! I almost saved that one, but I didn't. Oh. The hand launch into the dirt. These are always these are ones I feel bad for. When you ask somebody to hand launch your plane and then they do it wrong, whose fault is it?
Hands up in the air.
Whose fault is it? Is it your fault or is it their fault? That's really funny. Boom. They're just so good. Crashes are always so much fun. But then the winner was 100% that. It was F-22, right? That went in?
Tears itself apart.
It was almost as good as the one we got that Justin filmed from his cell phone. Did we put that in there? Is that in here? Yeah. From Joe Nall. He made the first dent in the new John Wall Electric Line runway. It's awesome. Oh, that was you, James N, running away from his plane. Oh, that was me and Justin.
Yeah.
This one is awesome. It almost
like a skateboard trick.
I thought it would catch back on. That would have been amazing. Nobody's been on here more than Wild Bill as far as crashes. Oh, no. And then you got Jeremy just, why not?
Sending it.
Why not stick a table under there? And then people get mad. Why would he do that? Because it's his plane. Do whatever he wants to it.
The cartwheel.
The cartwheel. Oh, there it is. That was the winner.
No,
that wasn't the winner. That was from Justin's camera. That was during our gaggle. I heard that. My plane went by and I was just hoping it wasn't mine.
Oh, there goes George's
That was
canopy.
George's canopy of his heli.
These two hug each other to death.
These are so good.
They're so good.
All these crashes are so good. The old porpoise. Look how much those wings. I expect those wings to dent, though. They, stay rigid. So there's more than just foam in there. Boom! Love when it just disappears.
Video. I saw somebody share that again in our group.
Frank the Tank. Frank's video is legendary. It's a legendary RC video. That one was amazing.
Amazing.
That made the cover. I was trying to find one.
This is you.
That's me. Dog. Yep. There it is. My nose and the battery, though. The battery was perfectly wrapped up in the nose foam, and the battery was fine.
Oh, there it is.
I was more excited that I didn't have to blow a battery. Oh. Unbelievable.
And then that was your save. So we're back.
And we're back. Yep. So Juan, will we start? Yeah, man. More Henlong tanks are 100% on the way. That was just, again, with COVID and all that stuff. A lot of products were from new vendors and, different areas and manufacturers got hit harder and differently than others. So yeah, everything we got on the website is going to be coming back into stock. Let's just get back to some semblance of normalcy with shipping and such, which who knows when that's going to happen, but everything is on the way for sure. So unfortunately, Alpha could not join us today, but guys, I'm here. That's about our year. Incredible. Thank you so much. I didn't know what to expect in the live show. Starting it up in 2021. It's always fun to get on here every Friday.
Wait, Dad's is calling us out. We do have one more clip.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm rolling it.
He has it ready. Oh, my other blooper.
Again, guys, if you're seeing
Yeah, don't do this with boats. So wait, now that's my transmitter. And then I'm like, oh, let me get the batteries out because it's all wet. Let's let the batteries go out into the water. That was so funny. It was like I knew it was gonna happen, and like unbelievable. And you're trying to be so careful when you're going out on the dock.
I warned you. That's why I'm on the other dock. Yeah. I'm like, if it's too tight, we're gonna boot a tripod into the water.
Yeah, I was like, don't want to lose the camera in the water, but
it took me like 20 minutes to pull myself together after that.
But it dried out. Luckily, it was lake water. But that was. It's like it's such a perfect moment because like, oh, let me just get the battery up. Battery's gone too. Unbelievable. So that's so funny. Exactly. If the whole thing, you're walking the camera out there. The heck with everything else. The camera's the most important. As long as that didn't break down, then that would be better. But when you play with water, man, luckily it wasn't salt water. So guys, any questions? We could go to the questions and answers part. You guys, again, if you've won, I could actually check that anyone emailed me yet while you guys are on. Because if you did, I'll send out, I don't send them out directly. I got to send an email to somebody who does send them out. So I'm not sure if they're working today. So that's why it'll probably come next week. No, as of right now, nothing here. So, okay. So no emails yet. When's the new flight line unveil? Oh, Justin. Will the F-15C be back? Hamilton, it's all coming back for sure. We have more containers coming. Can I tell you when? Right now I can't tell you when, especially being that I'm live. I'd have to ask somebody. But if you want to know that kind of stuff, the best place, ask a CS guy. Go onto either call them, they'll be around, or send a ticket, and they'll get you the best answer they can. Or I could try, if you ask me again if I'm on one of the live shows, I could try to look into it, but I don't have that access to, obviously, I don't have access to that information right now when I'm live. But free wing containers tend to come more often than a lot of things, because we have a good idea of those. So they'll, the F-15, I saw somebody say, oh, is it discontinued? I'm like, where does these rumors start? Like, no, it's just out of stock. It's like, it's... The one thing about COVID too, I think all hobby companies, whether you play golf, whether you play everything, everyone saw upticks in sales, which is good, but also, the demand isn't, demand is outweighing the supply at the moment in a lot of these things. So, a lot of people picked up hobbies, and I hope, especially with the RC hobby, it seemed like a lot of people found our hobby because of COVID, and I hope they stick around to it when things do go back to normal, because, guess you're trying to look at the light, at the end of the tunnel, if you will, like something good that might have come from all this is hopefully helping our hobby, but we'll see. But, guys, yeah, man, surprises. John Graham, or any surprise? Of course there'll be new releases. Of course. Can I tell you when? No. Do I have things that are here with me? Yes. And it's just a matter of, when the time comes. Trust me, we'll let you know on this show. Will be our live things here, so we'll get it. Yeah, flying out, we try to. I mean, I think it's been a while since, especially Freewing, that discontinues things. But, with any manufacturer, remember, like we did in the factory tour, there's only so much, it's amazing that they're able to keep all those planes. But every time you add a new plane without discontinuing one, think about the time it takes, because, in a given month, again, how many times do they have to produce X number of planes? And, you know, every time you add a new one, you've got to fit the production of all those parts and planes in with everything else that they still got to produce, because it's not like things stop becoming... It's funny with this hobby, but at least with the free wing stuff, things don't really become unpopular. I mean, everything pretty much sells. People, you know, people still buy F-86s like crazy, and that thing's, you know, been here longer than me. The Su-35 is 11 years old. Those things still get sold pretty regularly. So, you know, they still got to make all that stuff. So it's pretty incredible. What's going to be the first plane I fly in 2021? It's going to be the Nexa P-40. I got that thing ready. I want to get that. I got to get that flown and filmed. I still got to film the final, the actual flight video on the P-47. So I got to get back out with that big jug I got. I just had to manipulate I moved all my my control rods in on the servos. My servos were moving really fast. Again, I explained it to somebody here, but I had a set of 625 high-tech servos, but on the Zero I used 645s. 645s, anybody knows the 45-25 difference of high-techs, the 45s are more torque, less speed, which I think are better for warbirds. The 25s are more speed, less torque. And something about that P-47, it's very pitchy. Like, I feel like it's moving too much. So I'm going to change the resolution before I think about just changing the servos. I didn't want to have to change the servos because for some reason I got, you know, I get stuff. I like to use what I got without trying to order more off the website. So I'm sure I'll get it fine. But something about it just moves a little bit too much. So, you know. So I'll do that. So that'll be the first thing. Then we got the new high performance 262 I just got in, so I want to get that out there with my 50mm Canon converted one coming up. I got to do some. We got a lot. I can't wait to get out and fly and get back to work. Really, you know, next.
Then we got the
next
brand
Monday.
new free wing.
Oh, the new. Oh yeah, we got those stuff. You know, all that other stuff we got to do. And then we got the ZOHD ones that are on the coming soon. That stuff's coming in. And then, obviously, a lot more surface stuff's going to be coming in. So, we'll be busy for sure. You know, and then before you know it, we'll be at Joe Nall and all this good stuff. I'm so excited. Any other nipple covers under the sword coat? I don't know.
That's what you read out loud?
Yeah, it's really funny. I'll say it. If that demonetizes the video, that's really funny. Jake Barnes... Plane shaped like an M40. Yeah, you know. Plane shaped like it, but not like it. Make it happen. Yeah, and guys, thank you all so much for even if you stop by for a little bit, you know, each week. You don't have to, you know, you could always watch it on replays, but it's always exciting to be able to talk, you know, to have some sort of live interaction with you guys. But like I said, that link in the description to that Squawk thread, go in there, and if you want to share your pictures, I definitely check that the Thursday night before every show, so that's where I'll always go. You know, that stuff will pretty much always make the show, unless you're sharing something that isn't a Motion RC product. I mean, I've shared some things that aren't Motion RC products, but
or it's vertical video.
You're never going to win with something that's not a Motion RC product, unless it was like some sort of crazy custom you did, but, you know, obviously... You know, it's funny in the customer community. I'll delete a post and then people like, come on, why are they deleting this? Because we don't sell it. Like, you know, they're like, free speech. It's a Motion RC community group. Go share it. There's no free speech here. Go share it in another group. You know, go share it. If they got another group, go do it. It's so funny. But, best foam plane of 2020 for you, James. Best foam plane? I mean, I enjoyed flying the T-33 and the Gripen. As far as the new stuff, it would have to be probably the MiG. I mean, the MiG's a lot of fun to move around, but it's not always, you know, of all the, you know, I guess because we had 4 new free wing foam planes, because Flightline is free wing, so it was really just the Bronco, these two, the T-33 and the Gripen and the MiG. It's probably the MiG just because I've never flown a jet that size. I hadn't flown one like that. I never flew the Tomcat yet, and I flew the A-10, so I should say.
It's just so big, too. When we unboxed it that first time,
yeah.
It was like, oh my, what have you done, Alpha?
Yeah, like, you know, like I wasn't used to seeing a jet that size, you know, from what we got. So it was just really fun. But the T-33 is, you know, something about the T-33, because it reminds me of like the Venom and the L-39. it's just easy to fly, and it can do everything you want it to do. So, the MiG obviously is easy to fly as well, but it's funny. It's tough. I can't wait to try the MiG with the thrust vectoring. I'd probably have to give it to the T-33 because I like the scheme on this. I like the German camo on it, but they're all great. But the MiG flies like different, I guess I would say, than the T-33. I can fly everything. Like the T-33 to me reminds me of the L-39, reminds me of the Avanti. So it's like I've flown it before, even though it's a cool platform. The MiG was unlike anything I haven't flown yet. It feels different. It's the MiG is fun because I don't know what it is about RC, but when you're flying a bigger plane and a heavier plane, it's almost as if you can feel it on your thumb. Does anyone else get that? And it's silly because if I turn my transmitter off and have nothing and move up and down, it feels weightless. But nothing else is different. But when you're flying a big heavy plane, when you move the throttle, it's like you feel it. And I don't know why that doesn't make sense, because nothing's physically happened to the transmitter at all, but you feel it. And the MiG gives you that. It's like when you push the button and those twin A's go, you feel that power. When I'm flying that big Zero, which the big Balsa Zero was my favorite thing of the year. I never flew anything that big. Can we delete Ethan in there? I don't know what he's doing. Let's get crazy. That just when you're behind that, I've never was behind something that big, like the Zero. So again, you feel that throttle. It's like, it's so different, to fly. And yeah, that's why, like James says, that's why if every plane was made to fly the same, then what would be the point of this? Everyone, should want to fly different planes because they all present a different challenge. Like, I want to fly the F-104. That's one I haven't got my hands on yet, that I'm excited to. Actually, I got the high performance 70mm Yak. I never flew that one. That was one that just never came my way, so we're going to do that. It could be proportional to the pucker factor, Air Guardian, but also, let's keep in mind, I work for the company. I don't want to crash them because I feel bad if I have to send myself another one just to get something done. I don't want to do that. So and I don't tend to crash them too often, but it's different for me because I didn't. If my money was behind it, that would be even harder. I can only imagine if you have, $2,500 or $10,000 in a RC plane, the pucker factor must be real. But then again, different strokes for different folks. But that's awesome. So yeah, I don't know what it is about the thumbs on the stick, but people see it in there. The inertia, of course. Yes. F-35s, fast, stable jet, better than what I was expecting. Nice. When it's set up right, when any jet, at least from Free Wing and most planes, when anything is set up right, they're tend to going to fly. I think a lot of people, where you find, like, it's odd. Sometimes I'll see posts where somebody says a plane that everybody seems to enjoy doesn't fly well, and then they say, oh, but I have everything set up the right way. And it's like, obviously you don't, like, there's got to be something wrong there. Most planes, when set up the correct way, are going to fly well, especially now. I'm sure in the past, some planes were just awful, but usually you could tend to see that because everybody experienced the same awfulness, and had to do all sorts of changes to it. But that F-35 it's awesome. So I have it up there. I love that thing. The speed on it, that was the first time we had the in-runner on a 70. That thing was great to fly. I just got to get better. The hardest thing with that is slowing that plane down. You really got to, you got to be on it because there's no flaps or anything. So you've got to get it in the right position. When I first was flying that was still early on in my jet career. So I did a video and I got ripped apart on RC groups for like flying. I'm like, whoa, man. Again, I flew it like 10 times and then decided to do a video. And heaven forbid I released that video. But, But you got to work it down. That's the hardest thing with the F-35, where it's not like the Hawk or, where at least you get flaps and you could slow it down a little bit. You got to do it. Kamikaze James, yeah, or you hit Justin and then that thing still survived though. That was amazing. It's on Alex's wall. I painted that F-35 up like a Jets F-35 because Alex likes the Jets.
Unfortunately.
Whew, that's tough.
Now it will never take off.
It'll never take off. But Yeah, man. So what are you guys excited about in so let's see some boats. What's the first thing you guys are going to fly in 2021? That was a good question. What are you guys excited to fly tomorrow? Is anyone going out to fly tomorrow? I don't know if we have the weather for it. But yeah, our weather's been crazy the last couple weeks.
Winter's here.
We had snow.
Yeah.
We had snow on Christmas Eve. Yeah, it was crazy. Little bit. Didn't stick, but
stuck to my porch.
It was a good snow. FPV SU-35. I gotta stop saying SU. SU. It's Sue. Studio. 1600 Corsair. Yeah, Jameson, you're going to Triple Tree next weekend for the Frosty Dog. I don't know if I can make it there for that, man. That's early on, but maybe I will. Fly a new A4. Fly T-33. Oh, rainy. 8S F4. That's something I never flew a Jet 8S yet. I never got one of them with the system. So whether it's the F-22 or the F4, that's something I would like to try. I'm sure it'd be awesome, but I never got a chance to get behind the sticks of an 8S jet. I don't even have those small little 2S packs that you combine with your 6Ss. I just never, not everything comes my way. Looking forward to the Tomcat of the MiG-29, ME-2 Spitfire, Corsair 262. I love the 262. So much fun. A6 Intruder. It doesn't just have to be motion stuff. A10. Oh, the Tiger Moth first, Chris. This one? Did you get the silver or did you get the British camo? Is it the Nexa one? I love flying this one. This one's nice and relaxing. Like, if I go to the field, I tend to bring a variety so then I can, go fast paced with a jet, but then go fly something to just relax a little bit and then get back to it. He's got the British. I wanted the British camo, but that one sold faster than this one. So, if something's selling too quick, I'm not going to send myself one for a video because obviously it doesn't need a video if it's moving out fast. I'll be bringing my cold weather flying gear. Yeah, it's been chilly down here on and off, but either way, I'm just excited to get back to it, and I'll go to bed early tonight. I'm not a New Year's is just another night.
What
for
are you
me.
going to watch at 12? A ball and an empty Times Square?
I'm gonna probably watch the last bit of The Office on Netflix before it goes away tomorrow.
Oh.
Just get my. Ooh, what was that?
I don't know. We just got hacked into.
Uh-oh. Alpha's trying to join the
Alpha's
chat.
over the channel.
He didn't try to. He must be partying. There it is. You see that little glitch?
They just saw it.
Oh, they saw it. All right. Oh yeah, we're on a little delay. I get to see what you guys don't see for a couple seconds. Oh, Chris, yeah, definitely post up a picture, man. For sure. So guys, then that'll do it. I want to wish everybody a super happy New Year. Hope you guys have, health and prosperity and joyousness throughout your New Year celebration. And let's have prop flight line coming, James. I'm sure there is, and I just hope that I hope the next flight line prop that's coming is a single engine one. That's what I'm hoping from Flightline. So hopefully 2021 will give me. But that is something I do not have here or know about yet. I find out when I need to know. I'm on a need to know basis. Oh, Brenton, Nexa P40. I have not flown it yet. It's ready to go, but we were all off, so that's the first plane I'm gonna fly. Next week probably, so I'll get that up, but I am so ready for it. I'm so excited to get that thing in the air. So that'll probably be Monday, and hopefully give us another 2 weeks to get back to our pace of 3 or 4 videos at a time, and a week or whatever, and we'll be back to going. So guys, before I take any more, yes, everybody throw out your emojis. Wish everyone a happy New Year. Again, and as I say always, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being a Motion RC customer. You made Motion RC's 2020 awesome, and hopefully we can return that and make your 2021 awesome with new stuff, fun stuff, and all sorts of different stuff, because we have a lot of stuff certainly on the way. So again, guys, we will be back for, I'm not sure what I'm going to call next week's show. Do we call it
Are we back to
Season
one?
2, Episode 1?
Oh, man.
Or do we just try to continue? Because, like, this is episode 49, but it's really episode 55 because I didn't label so many episodes, didn't get a, you know, we've done more than 52 episodes, but I don't know. We'll come up with something for next Friday. But either way, guys, we will see you then. So, again, have a great New Year. If you're off tomorrow, enjoy the day. And be safe tonight as well. If you're going to go party, you know, do it safely. And if you're going to go fly, pre-flight, check your planes and do that safely as well. But, guys, thank you for joining us. And my winners of the show, Dan Smith, Bren Hecht, James Bowen, and Stu911. Email me at marketing@motionrc.com, preferably from the email address of your Motion RC account. And I'll get those gift cards out to you as soon as possible. So thank you so much, guys. And we will see you next week at Motion RC. Bye.